This week, we're going to talk about the fundamentals of root cause analysis. And I hope wherever you are coming from today, you're all safe, healthy, and fine. We're, by the way, joined by various companies coming from both public and private sectors. No? So, I think most of them are also implementing management systems. So it's such a pleasure to be with all of you today. So without much ado, let me turn you over to our subject matter experts. I don't know what she's doing with, I think she's still rehearsing her facial expression, by the way. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker for today's webinar. She's going to talk about the fundamentals and root cause analysis. If you're into ISO management systems, this would be really helpful, whether you're an auditor, a quality management representative, or just a process owner. This workshop will help you sharpen your root cause analysis and improve your system. So Maria Luisa Ramirez, or we call her BAM, by the way, is an experienced strategic analyst, and she's a master black belt, a Six Sigma practitioner, specializing in areas of lean management and top level project planning. Among her work experience is being officer in charge of, or country OIC for Epson Philippines, and she was the country director, former country director for Apple Philippines. Right now, she's doing a lot of consulting works with some of the leading brands, both here and abroad. So, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let me turn you over to our beautiful and talented and brilliant subject matter expert for today, who's going to talk about the fundamentals of root cause analysis, Bam Ramirez. Bam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jong. This is going to be a very interactive training, no? So I would be needing the help also and participation of Sir Jong Fernandez. Every now and then I'll be asking some questions because we would like to make this like a workshop-like seminar right now. We have about 37 slides. By the way, good afternoon to everyone. Okay, welcome. We have about 58 participants, Jong, no, right now. We're expecting supposedly about 101.
I think so, yeah.
So some may be joining us later on. Will some be joining us later on, Sir Jong?
Yes, Bob. I'm very sure that that number will grow as we go along. So,
okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, definitely our moderator will be opening the chat feature. If you have any questions, feel free to type in your questions at any time. No, they can, or better yet, every now and then I will open up the floor for answering those questions. So I'll be asking Jong and or Mike, whoever, who will be our moderator, Jong? You or Mike?
It will be my pleasure to monitor the chat group, Bam, and I'll also be raising up their questions to you, Bam. So if ever you have questions, you may type that in the chat group, and I'll raise your questions with our speaker. Okay?
All right. Like this, I would also want to make sure that there are no gray areas as much as possible. So please feel free to ask as many questions as possible. If we do go beyond, we will try to entertain all the questions within that 1 hour span. No? But if we do go beyond, then the other questions will be entertained right after the 1 hour. So, okay. So what are we going to be discussing today? First, of course, we're going to define what root cause analysis is all about. And then we're going to discuss also what the role of RCA is in problem solving and decision making. Then I will impart to you a very fast way of determining the root cause of a problem, and that is the 5 whys. After which, we're going to talk a bit about the cause and effect. And this is one thing that was, I'm sure that in most of the seminars you have attended regarding root cause analysis, hindi masyadong lumalabas to, no? Latent cause. No, I have a question also, Jong. Do lahat ba ng ating participants is it okay for me to go Taglish or do we have any foreigners within our
I think we have participants from offshore companies, Bam, so we have to just keep it in English.
Sige. I will do my best.
Sabay sige.
Oh, yeah. If I do falter, if I do falter, then I will go back and interpret whatever I just said. Okay, so without further ado, by the way, we are going to concentrate also on the top 10 causes now, or the top 10 tips we have in our LCA. Now, if you notice, at the start, I was talking about RCA. This is root cause analysis. And after the second to the last, I already included the letter L. And this is latent cause. So we're going to be discussing what is the difference between root cause and latent cause also. Okay, so define muna tayo. Let's define first. Di ba? Sumablay na ako. Okay, what is root cause analysis?
Bam,
Now,
just checking, huh? Bam, just
yes.
checking if you have a slide to share, you may. I already enabled the slide share, by the way. Yeah. Are you going to use some slides?
Yes, I am using slides already right now.
You may feel free to share screen right now. I know we got carried away talking about
Yes,
if you want to share your screen right now, you may please feel free to do so. And good thing Bam mentioned about the latent cause analysis, because I think this is one of the areas in root cause analysis wherein most practitioners would, really ask questions. What is latent in root cause analysis? So Bam would talk more about that and shed more light as to how we can use latent, that part in our root cause analysis. Bam, we can see your screen clearly, beautiful slides, a lot of roots. This is going to be exciting. Go ahead, Bam. Yeah.
Okay. So as what John was mentioning earlier, no, in fact, in root cause analysis, we should always include the latent cause or the latent cause, as they say it. And allow me to explain about that further on. So, like what I said, we're first going to define what root cause analysis is all about, and then what is the role of RCA when it comes to problem solving and decision making. Then I'm going to impart very rapid way of determining the root cause, and that is the 5 whys. I'm sure that most of you have already heard about this one. So for those of you who haven't, then let me just go very fast over it. And then we're going to also incorporate the cause and effect. And we're going to discuss a bit about the fishbone diagram. Then we're going to discuss about latent cause and the top 10 tips. Dito time, this is where we're going to concentrate the top 10 tips in our LCA. Okay, so what is root cause analysis? Now, root cause is the technique that guides people to discover what is the real cause of a problem. Most often, when we try to solve a problem, we only solve the apparent causes. No, and when we do this one, what happens is that the problem keeps on occurring. So we do not really solve it for the long run, but we solve the initial effects of a problem. So the root cause is what yung ugat, no? What is the real underlying cause of a problem that when we solve will enable us or will give us a long-term solution. Okay, so this is what the root cause is all about. Now, this plays a very big part in problem solving and decision making, because if we're trying to solve only the apparent causes or the apparent problems, then the problem will keep on occurring. We haven't really solved it, right, Joe? So, in the diba, we have what we call the process of problem solving and decision making, and the first step is defining the problem. When we define the problem, we have to already state a root cause of a problem. It doesn't happen at the end of the whole process of PSVM, but defining the root cause happens in defining the problem for now. So at the start of PSVM, we already have to have the root cause, and that is what we're going to try to solve. Okay, so it occurs at the first stage of PSVM. In fact, I think after this one, we will be offering also a webinar on PSVM, no? Right, John?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So when we offer that, or when we talk about the whole process of problem solving and decision making, we have to. Here, it's very timely. that we did this root cause analysis first, because this is the first stage of the whole PSTM process. Okay, so solutions must be dealt with, not symptoms when we determine the root cause. And then later on, we're going to do a rapid root cause analysis using the 5 whys. And we're also going to talk about the cause and effect diagram. So without further ado, let's go straight to the 5 whys. Okay. Ano ba talaga yung 5 whys? No? 5 whys is a rapid way of determining the root cause of a problem. Let me give you an example. I would need the assistance of Jong in this one. No? Let's say, for example, Jong is always late.
Nako,
Example lang yun, ha?
how
Example.
come you know? How come you know?
Example lang yun, example. Okay, so let us do this, let's do this exercise.
Okay.
So, na-late si Jong, no? Jong was late, no? And I asked Jong, why are you late?
My alarm clock didn't go off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, why? Now, remember, this is not necessarily 5, no? Why didn't your alarm clock go off?
Well, maybe
Yung totoong dahilan.
maybe I need to change the alarm clock.
Okay. Why do you need to change your alarm clock?
Because it didn't go off. Maybe it's because the last time I checked, it was actually a 10-year-old alarm clock. So maybe it needs something new. Maybe you can give me a new alarm clock, Bam.
Yes. Why didn't you replace your alarm clock?
I was so busy. The alarm clock is the least of my concern, Bam.
Okay. So why do you think you are so busy that you cannot replace a simple an alarm clock?
Well, I do quite a lot of things, Bam. If if I share with you my calendar, you'd probably puke and vomit. So
Okay.
unfortunately,
At this point, if you have analyzed also the participants, yun pa lang you can already determine that one of the reasons why Sir Jong, this is example lang, is always late because of time management, right? Because yun pa lamang the calendar of Sir Jong is quite full, and he cannot he does not have time to buy an alarm clock. But if we're going to dwell or go deeper into this one, I may be asking him, why is your timetable so hectic? And he may be answering me by saying, what would be your answer, Joe?
why is my timetable hectic? That's a very difficult question. I don't know. Ever since I remember, my timetable has been so tight. So, but I can play video games on weekends. So
okay.
yeah.
Another
Probably I
answer
can
may
find
be,
the alarm clock on weekends.
yes. Another answer may be for other people, no? Maybe not Jong, no? Another answer may be because I am doing all the work by myself, right? So then I would be asking, why are you doing all the work by yourself? Then the answer may be, it's because I failed to delegate, right? So then the root cause will be delegation of work and responsibility. Because if we try to solve the very first one, which was to buy him a new alarm clock, if he would purchase a new alarm clock, that will not, then another problem which is the same may occur again. So paulit-ulit, no? The problem may be occurring a lot of times. Do we really have foreigners? Because it's very right now. Do we have people from different countries, Jong? Because some of my examples may be in Taglish.
I think right now, I think it's safe to say that we're all local, Bam. So it's okay. Pwede tayo magkwentuhan ng parang nasa kanto lang.
Thank you so much. Kasi we want this like a workshop, no?
Right.
So, yun, di ba? If you try to purchase an alarm clock, then maybe in the future, he would fail again to set his alarm clock because he is very busy and does not have the time to set his alarm clock. Then the problem will keep on occurring. But if we fix the act of delegation, then whatever further problems that are connected to this one will also be fixed. Okay, is this clear? How do we do it? We go through the 5 whys. No? Benefits of the 5 whys, it helps identify rapidly, mabilisan, ano ba talaga ang root cause ng isang problem. It determines the relationship between yung before na why to the second, the deeper why also. One thing that we have to remember that when we undergo this 5 whys, we have to be very clear not to repeat the same answer. Like a while ago, di ba, when I was asking Jong, I asked him, why don't you have an alarm clock? I mean, why is your alarm clock busted? Then he told me because he failed to purchase one. Why did you fail to purchase one? Because he does not have the time to purchase one, right? So, para bang yung una, he did not set his alarm clock kasi he did not have the time. It was repeated. Okay, so we have to be very clear when we state the reasons behind or the effects behind that answer to the 5 why. We do not become repetitive. Okay, we have to very carefully think of our answers in order for us to arrive at the root cause. Okay, another example. Why is Tom injured? Because he fell. Why did he fall? Because the floor was wet. Why was the floor wet? Because there was a leaking valve. Why was the valve leaking? Because there was a seal failure. Why did the seal fail? Because it was not maintained. In other words, Tom was injured because the seal was not maintained. Therefore, the root cause is the poor maintenance of the seal. If we try to address the very first why was Tom injured? Because he fell. How would we address this one? We would just say, oh, let's be careful. Everyone who is passing by this hallway should be monitored. O kaya we can just put up a sign, be careful when you are passing by this hallway. But we did not fix the seal. Therefore, the seal will keep on leaking. And every time that there is a leak, the floor will be wet. And every time that the floor is wet, even if people try to be careful, they will unknowingly fall also. Therefore, we do not fix the actual root of the problem. Okay, so is everything clear in this one? I'll give another example. Okay. Why? The first one, the wrong problem statement, wrong item shipped to the customer. Why was the wrong item shipped to the customer? Because the wrong item was pulled from inventory. Second level. Why was the wrong item pulled from inventory? Because the item we pulled from inventory was mislabeled. Hindi maganda yung pagka-label ng item. Bakit hindi maganda yung pagka-label ng item? Kasi yung supplier mislabeled the item prior to shipping to the warehouse. Then why did the supplier mislabel? Because the individual applying the labels to our product at the supplier placed the wrong label. Bakit? Bakit nagkamali yung individual na yon? Because labels for different orders are pre-printed and it is easy to apply the wrong label. So, pwedeng pre-printed na yan, tapos lagay lang siya ng lagay na label. So, hindi maganda, hindi quality control yung paglagay niya ng label. So, what are we trying to fix here? What should we be fixing, John?
Well, obviously the labels for different orders are pre-printed and it's easy to apply the wrong label. So I think we need to fix right here, Bang. Yeah, this one.
Yes. Therefore, what would be a suggested solution to this problem?
It's easy to apply the wrong label. I think we need to put controls there to ensure that the wrong labels are, to prevent the application of wrong labels. Yeah, that's what.
Na natin i-pre-print yung labels as much as possible. Kasi, or we may also, another suggestion, latent cost, is that we may train the people to be, or we can apply quality controls within our procedures and train the people to be very careful kasi kahit na mag-quality control tayo, paano kapag yung tao hindi talaga latent sa kanila ang maging careful when it comes to labeling. So pwede pa rin magkaroon ng problema. But we will try to address the root cause. We cannot address itong part na second Y na the item we pulled from inventory was mislabeled. If we just address that once, sasabihin natin, oh, just make sure na yung supplier natin, tell the supplier not to mislabel then it will not be solved. The problem will keep on occurring. Okay.
Bam.
Yes.
You mentioned about the people aspect of the root cause. You said that the people, maybe it's not latent on their part to ensure that the wrong label is not applied. Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, latent part, people part. What do you mean by that?
Yes. Okay. I can go straight already to the latent, but let me give you some tips about that one before we go to the main topic about latent cause analysis. Latent cause, this is the portion wherein the people are in control of whatever process are in place. Kasi ang problema natin ganito people, before nang sinaunang panahon ng 1990s, no? O kaya sabihin natin na BC, before Corona, a lot of people, when they try to solve a problem, they say na lahat ito can be solved by creating and putting in processes. Just by creating all the standards, the policies, the guidelines, and then everything will be okay. That is very apparent also in ISO. But we have learned in ISO that the people play a major part. What if, for example, it is not within the culture of an organization to control quality? What if, for example, the people that make up an organization is not culturally inclined to follow the guidelines? Diba? So what do? We have to change the culture. It's the people who actually do the policies. It's the people who apply the process. So without the people wanting in their hearts and wanting within their culture to really control the quality, no matter how many processes we put in place, this may not always be followed.
So, Bam, the way I look at this, you're saying that the latent cause is actually the human factor or the behavioral side of problem solving. Is that correct?
Yes. Because we tend kasi to, most of the time, try to solve problems. Masyadong process-driven tayo that we forget that a big part of this one is how they follow the process, or rather, how they accept the process.
All right.
Diba? Kasi kahit na nandyan yung proseso, susundan ba nila? And how often will they follow it? So how do we address this one? There are different ways, and we're going to get to that also when we get to the latent cause.
All right. Thank you.
I will give you some tips on that one. Because we oftentimes forget na one of the root causes dito we can even dwell deeper labels for different orders are pre-printed and it is easy to apply the wrong label. Process solution dito.
Okay.
Give a suggestion for a process solution, John. Labels for different orders are pre-printed and it is easy to apply. One of the process solutions may be don't, o kaya all labels should be printed on demand. That is a guideline, right? But then, how do we encourage the people to pre-print or to not pre-print the order? Kasi ang magiging ang dali kasi mag-pre-print bibilis ang buhay nila So how are we going to encourage them? Maybe we can put a punishment and reward within our own policies, diba? In order for them to follow the procedures that are put in place by the standards. So we have to keep that in mind, how to encourage the people to follow the process. That should be part of the solutions that are suggested when we address the root cause. Okay, do we have any questions as of now?
We're good, Bam. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Another example. I want to own my own business. That's the goal. That's a problem. I want my own business. Okay, first, why? Why do you need to own your own business? Because it will allow me to have greater control over the time, over my time. Why do you want greater control over your time? Because I can have more flexibility in my life. Bakit mo kailangan na flexibility sa buhay mo? Because I will be able to work from home. why do you want to work from home? Because I will be able to spend more time with my son and my daughter, my family. Why? Because being with my family is of the prime importance to me. So the problem is, or ang gusto niya mangyari, ang goal niya, is to own his own business. And then if you ask him why he wants to own his own business, because ano yung root cause? Kasi gusto niya, kasi very important sa kanya yung family. So how do you solve this one? Is owning the business, owning the business going to be the solution of giving importance to the family? Pwedeng hindi pa. Di ba, Jong? Kasi pwedeng yung owning your own business can even detract from giving the family what they truly need, which may not only be time, but may also be financial means, right? So if you try to solve this by having your own business, and you did not dwell into the root cause, why you want your own business, then you may, that the same problem, you may not be able to provide for your family in the long run. So it is very important to find the root cause. So, any questions in 5 whys before we get to the next one?
Very good, Bam. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Very good examples. Thank you.
Very fast lang ang 5 whys, and that is very important also in finding your root causes. Now, there are different tools in finding the root causes. We even have the 5 whys and 1 husband, no? The how that we're going to ask. And this is when the cause and effect diagram comes in. Okay? I don't know whether you are familiar with the Ishikawa fishbone diagram. Sino ba talaga si Ishikawa? This was during yung time na mahilig sila sa quality control. This is after the war. After the war, what happened to Japan? Di ba, devastated ang Japan, di ba? Ang daming mga companies that closed down. There were a lot of cities that were bombed, no? There were a lot of destruction all over. And the manufacturers in Japan looked around and they were asking, how are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to start anew? And so this is a true story. Si Ishikawa, he was eating dinner. While he was eating dinner, and nagkataon yung dinner niya is the fish. Hindi to joke. And then he was looking at the fish and found out that in order for you to debone the fish, you have to get into the little bones in order to ensure. Because if you just take out the spine, there may be little bones still within the fish. So he concluded that in order for me to solve a problem, I have to get into the root process, the small bones. And if I remove the small bones, then ang sasama nito, di ba itong small bones na to, no? Nakikita ba ako when I move the mouse?
Yes, Bam. Yes, Bam. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So if I solve this one, then sasama ngayon yung ibang bones. And I get to solve the problem. Now, what Toyota did was to divide it into different categories. You have manpower, problems dealing with manpower, methods, machines, mother nature, ano yung latent, no? Nilagay na niya dyan, measurements, and materials. Now, there are different ways to divide this. Pwede din yung mga piece, di ba? It can be process, people, di ba? But let's stick with this one. Let's say we have a problem. Okay, problem statement natin. Let's give me a current problem right now, John.
Well, probably I think most of our participants from the audience, I think this is applicable to all of them. What about customer complaints? They all have customer complaints, right?
Very good. Very good.
What about that? Yeah.
Okay. When we state the problem, customer complaints, number 1 rule is that we have to be very clear. Let us try to avoid generalizing. Because at the start pa lamang, when we put the problem statement in, it has to be very clear. So what regarding customer complaints?
Okay. You know, this is what I love about you, Bam. You always put me on the spot, right?
So, no. This is like a workshop, like no. So, para malaman din ng participants how we're going to. That is very common, eh. When we state a problem, ang problema natin late. ano yung
Okay.
pagka-late, no? So we have
Okay.
to be very clear. We have to know what exactly we are solving. So
Okay.
customer complaints, is it the increase of customer complaints?
Hmm. Okay.
Okay,
Let me think here. Probably, let's say, for example, I think I can see Digos Water District here in the audience, and maybe we'll use them as an example. Maybe varies because BAM is asking for a specific example.
yes, please, audience, please
Maybe
give
one
me
of their
problems.
concessionaires, is complaining because when they went to the office to pay for the bill, the line was very long, no? So a very long line, and then they waited there for like 1 hour,
Very
and
good.
and to think it's quite risky because we have to follow social distancing, and they're exposed for 1 hour. What about that? So they complain.
Okay, so the complaint is the long lines, the long customer lines, correct, in paying.
Yes,
Okay, so long customer lines, right? So
yes.
let us try to define the problems. Where the problem now? When we say long customer lines, is it the long period of waiting that is actually their problem?
I think it's both. The line is long because the processing is also
Very
quite
good.
slow, no? So
Okay.
maybe there were only about two uh, two persons manning the or receiving the payments, and there
Okay.
are about 6 windows, and only two are present.
So our problem statement is the long waiting, the long lines, the long customer lines in payment. Okay,
Yes.
that's our problem statement.
I'm not saying
Uh,
it's true in Digos Water District. Huh? That's just an example. I'm just
Example lang to ah, example lang to ah,
no.
everyone. Ah.
It's a fantastic queuing process, no? So they don't have that problem.
Okay, so where shall we put that in? The long lines, is it caused by any manpower, lacking of manpower? That can be one, no? They don't, like as was mentioned by Jong, kulang kasi yung nagbabantay sa line, okay? So that can now be put under manpower. What about methods? Meron ba tayong process that we can put in place? Because the process only enables us to have two lines, okay? What about machines? We can put, because the computers that are allocated in these lines, limited lang siya eh. So that is now a problem in machines. What about measurements? Any measurements? Kasi wala kasing walang nagko-control ng quantity. Yung security guard na nandun, wala din. And kulang din tayo sa training. Diba? That can be one. We do not have enough people, or we do not have training in place to enable more of our people to know how to address the customers. So we will now put that into each category, and we will try to solve each and every one by getting into the root cause. So let's try one. Okay. Ano yung una ko sinabi? Yung training, right? Yung training, no? That's one. Let's put that under manpower. Jong?
Yes. So
Okay,
training.
manpower, no? We do not have enough qualified tagabantay.
Hmm.
No? So why don't we have any qualified people, Jong?
Why don't we have qualified people? Well, I think because they obviously lack training. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why do you think they were not trained?
well, maybe because we didn't have time to train. We have about 32,000 concessionaires, and that situation is on a day-to-day basis. We cannot, pull them away from the post and do training. We cannot afford that. So yeah, no time to do training, unfortunately.
Okay. So for somebody who is very used to RCA, I could already jump to the root cause from now. It may be, and this is where the latent cause comes in. It may be because the organization's culture does not really give much importance in training their personnel. And this root cause may also cause more problems, not only with customer service, long lines in customer service, but with a lot of other aspects. That may not only be this problem, but other problems pa. Diba? So yung root cause ngayon nito dun sa training is the culture of the organization that does not give that much importance in training their people. Okay? Kasi if you're just going to keep on putting na, o sige, let's assign more people in this line, no? And what if, for example, the people are not trained? It may even cause more problems. Okay, so that is for the training. But what about the other one? The machines, no? There are only 2 machines available. Why are there only 2 machines available? No.
Well, these are all assumptions, Bam. Huh? So maybe.
Oh, assumptions lahat to, ah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe there are about 6 machines, but only 2 out of 6 are working, and the 4 machines are not working at that time. No, so when the complaint happened, 4 of the machines unfortunately broke down. So
okay.
I think we have a
why do the machines keep on breaking down, or especially when it is very much needed?
I think they need replacement. Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Or they're quite
Walang
okay.
Maintenance.
They just lack maintenance. I don't know.
Walang maintenance. Is there not a schedule for maintenance? Why is there not a schedule for maintenance wherein the machines can be periodically checked?
I would assume there is a maintenance plan. Yeah.
There is there's a gap in the maintenance plan, right? Okay, so then dun pa lamang nakikita mo na kung ano yung root cause Walang naka-place na talagang standard time for maintaining machines. There is not a process that is in place to maintain the machines. So this will keep on breaking down. And not only the machines for the tellers or for kung sino itong problem na to, but also other machines ng corporation. Okay, so we will try to solve that one. Kasi if we do not solve that, then the problem will keep on occurring.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions in the fishbone before we go to the next one?
Bam, I have a question.
Okay, go.
So if you can go back to the fishbone, okay. So in that particular problem, long lines, slow queuing, only 2 personnel are present during the BC day, and we've mentioned quite a lot of issues there. First issue, lack of training. Second issue, no procedure. Third issue, defective machines. So how would we know which one is the root cause?
Okay, then you're going to do the 5 whys sa bawat isa. Then you will eliminate all redundancies for this one. And you will come out with only about 5 root causes, most probably. And you will try to solve that in order to solve the big problem.
Okay.
In each of this, you have a root cause for manpower, a root cause for methods, a root cause for machines, for mother nature. Pwedeng wala din it all depends on where you put your problem. Okay, yung mga kaninang minention natin, long lines, that falls under yung training falls under manpower, yung lack of computer falls under machine. Then you will solve the root cause of each of the nodes.
So, Bob, there's a question here from Ma'am Angie. Hello, Ma'am Angie. I'm glad to know you're here. Ma'am Angie is from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She was clarifying, would that be possible that you have actually more than a number of root causes? Or would that be possible, Bam? Like you have 1, 2, or 3 root causes? Or would you rather zero in into a singular root cause?
Okay. In each of these, you will try to solve one root cause. One that falls under manpower.
Okay.
One that falls under methods, one under machines, mother nature, measurements, and materials. It all depends whether you identify the problem. Like a while ago, was there any cause that fell under mother nature? Hindi sa long lines. Kaya ba nagkakaroon ng long lines parati kasi bumabagyo? Tapos lahat ng tao, o kaya let's say kasi dahil quarantine, pagkatapos they can only go and pay during a certain day because of what happened in mother nature. Then we put that under mother nature. Then we try to solve the root cause of that one. Yes, there may be more than one root cause, but let us try to solve one root cause per category. Let us try to identify the root cause per category.
Okay. Bam, if I may, one of the approaches actually both Bam and I are doing on this fishbone diagram is that Bam will also touch on that later on. This is the Ishikawa diagram, right? This is
Yes, the
coming from a
fishbone diagram.
Japanese guru. You must have heard of this Italian economist called Wilfredo Pareto, and
Yeah, the
this Pareto
80-20 rule naman.
exactly right. So in the 80-20 rule, we actually look at the 20% the vital few, so that you sort of like eliminate the 80% trivial many. Because when you populate this fishbone, let's say for example, you sit down, you're a team, you'd probably come up with so many causes, right? That's possible. You may have so many causes uh, pointing to that cause why we're having this long line issue. So how would you weed it out? You can probably identify which one of these is trivial many and which one is vital few. And then just like what Bam said, you focus on the vital few. So when you fix the 20% of the causes, you could probably also address the 80% trivial many. That's just my thought on that, Bam. Yeah.
Yes, kasi what happens kasi oftentimes is that especially when we try to solve a problem and we're one group, people will have different personal problems, or they have different problems or different reasons behind the problem per person eh. Kung ano yung dahilan mo may not be mine eh. Okay, whatever is your problem may not be mine. So what the Pareto principle simply puts is that ano ba yung 20%, ano ba yung 20% na 80% ng problem na solve. O kaya, ano yung 80% na nangyayari? Yung karamihan na nangyayari. Diba? So, it should be something that is occurring 80% of the time. Okay. And the 20 naman is, what is the 20% solution that can solve 80% ng problema? Diba? So parang ganun yan eh. Ano yung madaling solution or yung solution na konti lang that can solve as many problems as possible. That is the essence of the Pareto principle. Diba? So any other questions before we go on?
Very good, Bam. Thank you.
Okay. So combining, no, again, let's go back to the fishbone. The cause and the why. So we will put down all the causes depending on manpower, methods, machine, mother nature. Kung meron na, measurements and materials. We will put it down, and after putting it down, we now try to find out the root cause and solve the root cause. Itong isa-solve natin. That way, if we solve this one, this is solved, this is solved. It goes up and up and up. And when we eliminate this, we can now start, or we can do it concurrently. Yeah? We can now solve the whole problem. And later on, this whole fish is ready to boil. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Latent causes. Okay, latent cause should always be part of your root cause analysis. We should always put in the human element. Example, again, no, this is a customer service natin, Jong. If kunyari nagbigay na nga tayo ng machine, no? Hindi. Let's go to the ano na lang. Sa training, no? Nagbigay tayo ng training. We put it within our process. The training should always be done every now and then. We created now an academy within our corporation that will enable all our employees to be trained every now and then. Nandun na, in place na. Kaso nagkaroon ng isang kumpanya na, teka lang, kahit na nag-train na nga kami, but still the customer service is not really that good. So what do you think? You will now go into root cause analysis, but RLCA na, root and latent cause. Why do you think that the people, although they are given training, are still not giving good customer service when it comes to servicing these long lines? Can you give me one of the underlying reasons kaya? Haka-haka lang to, Jong. Okay, go. Why do you think?
Well, maybe because this is an assumption. Maybe the personnel is not engaged. Maybe they're not.
Yes.
There's no buy-in. They don't see the value there. What's in it for them? They don't understand that. Yeah.
Why don't you think they see the value in this one? What can be one of the reasons?
Sorry, come again, Bam. What?
Why do you think that the people don't see the value of being trained?
Oh, well, maybe because number one, they're just too busy. Downtime is not just possible. They're just everything is urgent. Everything is always trying to beat the deadline on a day-to-day basis. So they don't really have time to sit down and think things over and yeah, analyze how they can do it better. Yeah.
And maybe they don't see like what you said, they don't see they put in more value in whatever they're doing at the moment,
Hmm.
rather than investing in knowledge and being able to do things much easier, because
Maybe.
they know already how to do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm applying the five whys. Why do you think that they don't see value in knowledge, John?
Well, maybe they understand value. Of course, we all. I think training is always something that we all long for, right? As people,
But
we always
maybe the
wanted to grow, right? We always wanted to get new knowledge, and so on. So maybe it's not about we don't like. We of course we appreciate that. We all want to go to training. I think the issue here is that how do we insert this in our very
culture,
busy schedule? I cannot.
or
Yes, I cannot go away from my post for a day. Even
mm,
half a day would be a challenge. So I think the issue here is more on how do we insert this in our busy schedule.
in
Yeah.
your busy schedule. And so I can already see the root cause. Maybe the root cause for this one is that the priorities of the organization are not communicated to their people. They're not encouraged. No, maybe there's no punishment and reward in place to encourage people to invest in knowledge. Or maybe also one of the problems, if you look at the root cause, is that the organization does not echo the importance of knowledge. So, pwedeng yung culture ng organization to. But if you have a culture of an organization that is focused in building and empowering their people when it comes to knowledge, then magiging natural for each and every individual to give time in learning and in gathering knowledge and attending the training. So if we now address the root cause, then the ugali or culture of the people will also be addressed. That is latent cause. So it is not enough to just put in processes. It's not enough to just put in training. We have to encourage the people to really, really like training and to be into it. Diba? So we have to change the culture of an organization. And this is very difficult. Kasi oftentimes, puro process lang tayo But we forget about the human nature We forget about the human side of a problem. And that has to be addressed at the same time. And there is also a root cause, people. And we have to address the root cause of the human nature. That is latent cause analysis. So most of the time, no matter how much we try to solve a problem, if we do not put into solving the problem the human side, then whatever processes we put in place will not be successful. How do we do this? No? We have to gather all stakeholders and ask the stakeholders, lahat muna, no? Stakeholders muna, what did we do to contribute to this problem? How will we stop ourselves from doing what we did? Kumbaga, ikaw din. And why are you part of the problem? And how are you going to be part of the solution? And what will we do as individuals from now on? So first, you have to ask all stakeholders, and afterwards, you have to ask yourself. Okay? So that is how to do root cause analysis when it comes to latent causes. You have to put yourself as part of the problem and make yourself as part of the solution also. Any questions, John, before we get to the next?
I think this is very enlightening, Bam, because in root cause analysis, we always number one we look at the process. Is there something wrong with that? We look at the system. Are there systemic issues? We look at strategies. We look at plan. We look at structure. We look at methods. But this one, we're saying, forget about all those. Instead of looking outwards, you look inwards. You look at yourself.
Mm-mm.
Why are you or you might be the one causing the problem? Is that what we're saying here in latent
Yes.
analysis?
Yes, but we have to do it concurrent. We have to address the problem when it comes to processes, yung kaninang Ishikawa. And then from there, we have to incorporate also latent causes. So dalawa, root and latent cause analysis.
All right.
So, hindi lang process ang pwede maging problema at pwede maging solution ng problema, but
Okay.
it can also be the human side.
All
It
right.
has to be parallel. It has to be the same thing also, the same time. We have to solve the process, but and the machine and the measurement, and we have to solve also the culture of the people.
All right. So just to clarify, Bam, for the audience, latent cause is actually the human side of the root cause analysis.
Right? Kasi even if we try to, kunyari yun nga, no, time management, when it comes to time management, we can say na, oh, well, let's always put a schedule, let's ensure ourselves that we create a checklist to guide us. But what, for example, kung ayaw talaga natin, kung talagang within ourselves that we do not follow schedules, we have to train ourselves now to follow that schedule.
Bam, we have one quick question here from Maria Estela Nacion. Her question is that based on the fishbone diagram, is it possible to factor in the human side in the manpower component?
Yes, that's part of it. It's in the manpower.
All right.
It will fall under the manpower. But we have to look into the culture. Kasi we can easily say sa manpower, we train them, we create trainings. No, we schedule trainings. But then we have to ask, we have to go deeper. How are we sure that these trainings will be embedded? How are we sure that these trainings will be attended? Hindi lang embedded within their minds, but also attended by the people. And how are we sure that these trainings will be of use to them? Right? So we, what do? We make the trainings very interesting. That's one. We can gamify it. No, if we think that most of the people within our organization are young people and they're into that one, we have to take into account looking at the culture of your organization and creating processes which are in line with the culture of your organization. Example, most of the time, di ba, John, pag ano tayo ng ISO guidelines, ang hirap nilang sundan kahit nandyan na yung guidelines.
Tell it to me.
Oh, di ba? Ganun na nangyayari. So then, a lot of corporations realize this, and they now embedded within their ISO certification some trainings when it comes to change management. Hindi lang yung change management process, pero pati yung adapting to change and changing the culture within the organization in order for these people to follow the guidelines and policies.
All right.
So, hindi lang, it's not enough to put in the guidelines, the policies, and telling them and disseminating it to them na, okay, these have to be followed. It is not enough because oftentimes they will not follow it, or it will take a long time for them to follow it. So how are you now going to encourage your people to follow the guidelines? Take a look at their culture.
So that's where you're saying the latent cause analysis would come in, right?
Yes, take a look into the culture of your organization. There is no steadfast way in doing this. Kasi culture Depending ngayon to sa organization mo. Ano ba talaga ang you have to ask yourself.
Okay.
My people, okay, how will my people follow this? Why will my people follow this? What will stop my people from following this one? Based on their habits, what is culture, Joel? What is culture? It is the way that we do things. Okay. And what the way that you do things may be different from the way I do things. Let's talk about culture now. When I mention
Bam, sorry to interrupt you there. Okay, I think this is something that I need to pitch in right now. This is from Maria Biled Balbuena. She said, it's the first time I heard about LCA. It's her first time. And I really appreciate how Ms. Bam discussed it. I think most officers miss this part in doing their RCA. So good work. Good work, Ms. Bam. And here's a follow-up question, by the way, from Romeo Tuazon Jr. He asked, can we consider also in the manpower component the work attitude and values of the employees? I think you can link that with your culture discussion, Bam. Go ahead.
Yes. That will fall, like what I was saying a while ago. Very good question. It falls under yung training na lang. Let's go back to the training. The training now will fall under manpower kasi you did not train your manpower or lack of training. But oftentimes, we stop there Di ba? We put in lang, oh, sige, let's put in embed training within in order to solve the manpower category problem, no? Pero you have to go deeper into that. You have to ask yourself, what will enable my people to really get into the training and practice whatever they were taught. So you now ask, what is the culture of my organization? When I develop now my training, I should take into account that my organization is full of people who are, let's say, millennials. Yun na lamang, no? And millennials kasi, they like gamification. So when I create now my training, I have to gamify my training. And then maybe I can put in a bit of reward, no? For example, you attend this training and you're able to answer successfully 80% of the questions at the end of the training, then you get this certain thing. And when you now create a reward, it should be in accordance to the culture of the organization. Let me just tell you a story. During the 1990s, no? Long time ago, 1900s, when Jong was only 1 year old, no? During that time, no? Most of the corporations, they would put in rewards which were monetary, diba? Sasabihin nila na, o sige, if you're able to sell this much, then you get this much commission, diba? Palaki ng palaki. And this was very prevalent when it came to the insurance industry. Then a study was done during the year 2000s now. And they found out that the thing that motivates a person really to work is not always financial. It may be financial, but there is a root cause. There is a deeper reason why they want to perform. And if you're able to put in place another motivational action that would hit this root cause, then maybe we would make things a lot faster and they would perform much better. And they found out that the prime motivator of people in working or doing anything is freedom of choice, right? This is one thing that can really motivate a person. So when you say freedom of choice, instead of giving them financial rewards, you can tell that, I'll put in another question kay Jong. What, for example, kunyari ang sweldo ng sa isang kumpanya is about 200,000, okay? In comparison to another company who offered you 150,000. Pero ganito yon. Dun sa 200,000, you will come in at about 8 o'clock a.m., leave at about 5 o'clock p.m. You will do things in the office, meron ka mga guidelines, everything, and then you have deliverables at the end of the month. Okay, normal, how we used to do business before this quarantine period, before working from home. Ganun yan, 200,000. Dun sa 150,000 na sweldo mo every month, it doesn't matter kung pumasok ka. You can do it anywhere you want as long as you deliver the deliverables at the end of the month. Okay, anong pipiliin mo, Jong?
Can I think over it?
Survey tayo. Hindi. Most of the people, sige, ikaw na muna. Tapos tatanungin natin iba. Ilan sa kanila ang magsasabing 150?
You know, you always ask me the hard questions. Maybe, yeah.
I'm sure that most of them would choose the 150 unless the 50,000 is because they need to be able to, let's say, provide something for their family or meron silang pinag-iipunan. Then they will choose that one. But then, root cause pa rin, pamilya pa rin. Diba? Because freedom, it's what we want to be able to do things and do things well if we were given our own discarte, our own way. So they found out that this is it. So when we create programs to encourage our manpower, we have to take a look at what they want, what they truly want, what motivates them. It's not always financial. It's very easy for us to put in, sige, meron kang percentage nito, i-increasean ko yung ganito mo. Of course, that helps, no? But sometimes, even in a project, diba? when you are able, you're part of the team, and you're able to hit the deadline, what encourages us so much is a simple pat on the back, telling us, "We thank you, job well done," and letting others know that that we did a very good job. That itself does not cost the company so much. But
So,
then,
Pam,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you there. So
okay.
how is this part of latent component, the latent aspect of the latent cost analysis? All this, motivation, reasons behind why we do
Those are
things.
solutions, how to motivate. Therefore, when you before you solve it, you have to ask yourself and the stakeholders also, how did I contribute to the problem? Then you will solve this. Kasi dito pwede din yung, nag-contribute ako do sa problem na to because I don't want to attend the training. Talagang I did not take it into heart. And then you will now create a solution based now on the culture of the organization.
All right, got you. Thank you, Bam.
Okay. Before we get to the top 10 tips already, the ending of our seminar, I'd like to address any other questions.
So far, so good, Bam. We don't have any questions in the queue right now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So, if you will, you're going to notice that this top 10 tips, we already touched on most of the solutions during the first part, no? So let's go through it. Top 10 tips. Number 1, very important. Your team has to be led by an RLCA expert. Kasi mahirap yan eh. When you undergo now your mind mapping, when you create solutions to the problem, when you undergo the 5 whys, there will be so many suggestions. There should at least be one person, and that is the leader, to guide the whole team. That is very important. So, hindi pwedeng yung, o sige lahat tayo mag-RCA na lang or RLCA tayo. One at least should be trained in the whole methodology. Okay. Then, it does not matter whether the problem does not yet happen right now. As long as malaking risk to sa kumpanya, then you should try to solve the problem itself. Okay, so it may be, yun yung sinasabi ni Jong a while ago about yung Pareto, no? If this is something that happens or may happen most of the time and will greatly impact the organization or pwede din ganito, it happens only sometimes, pero pag nangyari, great impact, di ba? Yan yung 80-20, then it is something that has to be solved. We have to acknowledge that the problem is there. Okay. Number 3, when we undergo now our 5 whys, let us refrain from being using our own value judgments. It has to be something that is based on fact. It should not be unfounded. Hindi siya pwedeng haka-haka. Kailangan talagang nangyari. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what may cause hindi pwedeng ganun eh. It should be what caused, not what may cause. You should be asking that question. Okay? You have to probe. Make sure that your data is there. Gather as much data as possible before answering any of the questions and getting into your 5 whys. Now, when you undergo your mind mapping or your 5 whys, there may be conflicts. Kasi what happens to one person or the judge or the solution of one person may not be the solution of another person. So let us make sure that walang mali, di ba? Anything goes. Para ka nagbe-brainstorm, no? Whatever suggestions that you have, let us take note of this one and let us make it part of the overall discussion. Let us be open to suggestions. Okay. Very important, kaya I mentioned about mind mapping. No? Very important that you draw it because some people may be visual. Kasi kung ikukwento mo lang minsan, mahirap eh. So, very useful yung fishbone. Useful din yung mind mapping natin for that one. Try to make sure that you tackle the most important issues when you create this one. Wag yung mga little problems only kasi you will be solving problems forever eh. So try to put in the problems that really matter. Okay, you make pinakamalaking impact. As much as possible, try to capture and record all of your discussions so that you now have parang data for that one. Para you can go back to whatever suggestions were given. Okay. So refrain also from being judgmental and generalizing. Make sure that when you state your problem or solutions, you are specific so everybody now understands it. And last and not the least, test it, no? Magkaroon kayo ng parang sample testing. Kung you cannot afford that naman because of time constraints, then you look at other companies who underwent the same solutions and then try to discuss that. So, okay, so any questions before we end? Jean, now is 2:12. We're on time. We just went 12 minutes beyond. Questions, John?
Yeah, we are always on time. If you're the one talking, we are always on time.
I went
so
beyond again by 12 minutes. Pero we started naman yata a bit late, no? Okay, so questions, John.
I think we're good right now, Bam. I think we have about I think we have just one or two questions, but you were able to answer this already earlier. So so the first question here was that the latent and RCA they're asking if this have to go together, right? And the answer is yes.
Yes, always yes. When you solve the root causes and when you put in also some cause and effects doon, you have to take into account the human factor na they could have contributed to the problem or they can be part of the solution.
Right. And just one last question here, Bam. You mentioned about 5 whys, you mentioned about fishbone, you mentioned about Pareto. When do you use which one? When do you use 5 whys?
You can use, well, okay. The 5 whys is the most often used methodology, no? Why? Because it's very rapid. You can simply, and everybody knows how to do it, but you have to be very careful. Like, that's why we put in the tip, no? You should not generalize. Everything should be based on fact, not judgments. As much as possible, try to find solutions when you get into your problem solving and decision making ready that are going to greatly affect the company, that are possible, that are simple. No? So, different methodologies yan eh. Some can do surveys, some can do, yung Pareto natin is, we use it for surveys, you know. Some can do 5 whys, no? Those are different methodologies of finding the root causes.
All right. So in other words, for, let's say, for example, for easy problems, for quick problem solving, you can use the 5 whys. But if you'd like to explore more on data, you need to explore on statistical data, you may want to use the fishbone, the Pareto analysis, right?
The 5 whys, you use it with the fishbone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Again, I'll just go back to this one. Okay. You undergo the 5 whys after you have identified the different causes. Okay.
All right. Got you, Bam. Thank you very much.
And when you undergo the 5 whys, you have to have 2 types of 5 whys. One that is process driven and one that is latent driven.
Got you. Thank you.
Okay. I will go to our conclusion again. Okay. So in conclusion, not only RCA, but root and latent cause analysis helps us to identify how and why a problem occurred. What it does is it addresses the real problem, the root cause, in order for it not to occur again. And only when you're able to determine what the root cause will you be able to solve the problem. Okay, so that's it, Jung.
Right.
We're done.
Fantastic.
So thank you so much.
Thank you
hope that in this 1 hour we were able to impart as much as possible and enlighten you on how to solve root causes, or how to not only solve the process of root causes, the process part, but also the human part of the root causes.
Amazing, Bam. As always, my hats off to you. As always, always a brilliant speaker. Thank you, Bam, for sharing with us your insights today. I'm sure our audience right now in this webinar can at least get some practical value that they can bring back to the office and apply it and improve the way they do things. Very quickly, let me turn back to Mike. Mike is going to just make some quick announcements. Mike, before we end this, go ahead, Mike.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Hi.
you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm just going to share to you the series of training that we're going to conduct on July. So, on July 9, we have a full-blown one-day IQA or internal quality audit training on July 9. That's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, in July 14, we also have the ISMS. Then July 23, we have the document controls. I will be sending an invitation to all of you, and I have all your emails. So expect that you will be able to receive it. And also, before we end, kindly take note of the links that I sent on the Zoom chat. Please take note of the link. That's the survey, the exit survey link. So only those who will completely and successfully submit their filled out exit survey form will be able to receive their respective certificates. The survey will open until 3:30 p.m. today.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike. And thank you all for taking the time. Bam, always an amazing speaker there. Thank you very much. Keep safe. And next week, we're going to do corrective action reporting. So if you have time, we would love to see you in this program. It's all free, so join us. We have another subject matter expert for the corrective action reporting. And we sure hope we would like to see you in our next upcoming full-blown courses. So always check out our Facebook page, go to our YouTube channel. We're going to upload this recording in the YouTube channel if you'd like to go back and review some parts that you may have missed. And we'll keep you posted. So keep safe. Thank you very much. And just
Bye-bye, you guys.
the rest of the day. Thank you very much.